Cheers!
Cheers!
Hey, good morning, you two.
Good morning.
Wherever you are, guess what?
I am Kris.
And I'm Kris. Hey, and we're
Kris and
Kris. In the morning, wherever you are. What are we drinking today?
More strawberry. Till we run out. I apologize. It's pretty good.
It's you know what?
Good. It's no mango, but
I joke. It's it's definitely no mango. Let me tell
never
you.
drink a mango flavored beverage. It's just
No.
the absolute worst.
Wow. Oh, hey, you know what? Let's just jump into market stats because
Jump.
there's some
Dive.
really good stats this week.
Up 4.5% is the first number I see.
Yes, exactly. Number of homes on the market. So remember, last week we were up the week prior. This is great news for buyers because guess what? There's more homes, more inventory on the market to choose from. Does that mean you should take your time and not put in your offer?
No.
No, we're not saying that. But now we have more variety of homes to choose from. They are on the market for just a little bit less. So last week we had jumped up a full day to a full week on the market. This week average is
Back down to 6.
Back down to 6. Can't get out of that.
Favorite
that
number
spot.
6.
Ooh, oh, this stat I also like. Median home price
$390,000.
dropped just a little. So if you were feeling like maybe the market was almost to price you out, brought back down a little.
It's
right?
feeling right there in that sweet spot, that 300 to 400,000.
Right? It really is.
And the number of homes sold this week
688.
up 5.5%.
Oh,
600.
right. So even though there's more inventory, there's more homes being sold. I think, especially in Vegas, we're adjusting to that summer heat wave, right? Last week, I think we were down a bit, and now people are like,
It's probably our special on pools. People are just like, yeah, I do need a
Oh
pool.
my
Kris and
gosh.
Chris are so right.
they're
We should
so
totally
smart
get a
about
pool.
pools. I better find a pool home.
Oh my
And
gosh.
all of y'all went crazy
Fine.
and bought a pool home. And speaking of buying a home, not just for yourself.
We did talk about this last week. We touched on
Yes.
investment properties, about how a person could buy the home, because renting versus buying, that's huge.
Yep.
Buying in equity anyway. Investment properties can become that from the home that you lived in. You can, instead of selling it, you could change it to an investment property, and there are a lot of pros to it. There's more pros than cons, but let's do cons first.
Right. Let's just knock the cons out. Let's get the negativity out. Just like you said, Kris. What we want to do, well, that's one of the things you said. But the other thing is, let's build that wealth and equity for ourselves, right? Not just for somebody else, which is what we summarized a little bit from last week's episode. Mom, thanks for watching. But let's just focus on a couple things first for buying an investment property. Cons.
The things I hear the most are probably paying for the cost of things. Like, why would I want to buy my own house when, if I'm a renter, I just, somebody else pays for that. But you're paying for their mortgage. So it's okay to pay for some of the things that break. Things break down. That's just wear and tear. That's life.
Right. We're not going to say that every renter is going to come in and trash your house. The majority
Hopefully.
of renters are good. But hey, things break down. Wear and tear, normal use, things are going to break down. So as someone who owns an investment rental property, you're going to be responsible for that. Whether it's range, garage door, who knows anything.
But on the topic of not everyone's going to be a bad renter, a way to offset the potential of bad renters is to hire a property management company, which also ties in with the repairs and replacements because they'll make those work repair orders for you. You won't be bothered at 2 a.m. with a phone call.
Right, you won't get that 2 a.m. Every toilet in the house is stopped up. Can you send somebody? As a single owner without property management support, guess what? You are the one in charge of making sure that works. Property management doesn't cost that much in the long run because if you think about it, it's like 6 to 9% on average. The cost of the rent is going to the property management
It's saving you those midnight phone calls. It's saving you the time and effort of
To
dealing
screen
with the
a
one-on-one.
renter?
The screen, they can comb through the applications for you. They'll find somebody. It's tough right now to find rentals. The credit scores are, I think, minimum credit score for a lot of places is 600, and those are property management companies that are going, okay, these are qualified applicants. Here you go, Mr. and Mrs. Property owners. You can come through them and choose the ones you want.
Right. On the plus side of that, I mean, the plus of a con would be, I mean, if you are using property management, just like you said, I mean, they're checking those credit scores. They're checking for bankruptcies. They're verifying, and they want the best client because it's a whole process, right? That's a process for them. It's a process
Less
for
work
you.
for them if they pick somebody good for you.
Exactly. They handle
Nice.
selection, that sort of thing. One thing to consider, of course, because of renters and the nature of it is vacancies. Occasionally, your home might be vacant. When you're working with a property management
Another good
company,
reason for property management.
they're the ones that are working hard to get the work orders in. So say somebody
See the
leaves
property
on the
filled.
first of a month.
Yeah.
By the 15th, they've already painted. They've done the touch up. They've done the cleanup.
They're on it.
Yeah, on it. So
And they're going to help you price the home, at value for rentals for the neighborhood. Because if you you know, we all want a little more sometimes. There's some greed that comes into, you know, I need this much money, so this is how much I want for this rental. But you have to be smart about it, and you have to talk to professionals and experts who can help you with those kind of decisions.
You have to price according to the market that you're in. You know, that's the nature of the business.
Game.
So something to consider there. So knocked out those negatives,
those are the only cons,
which
though.
even really weren't that
They're
negative.
not even that bad.
But
there's a solution for the cons. The pros, I mean, there's no real downside to having equity in your home.
Right. So just a quick note: when you are buying, I should say, financing an investment or a vacation or a second home, the rates for that home are actually going to be a little higher than your primary residence. So something to consider there. Also, just like any financing, it's your best interest to put 20% down because we want to avoid any PMI or private mortgage insurance. That's the insurance that the lender puts on the loan to make sure, hey, you're going to come through and pay, right? They're taking a risk to give you money, and especially on a second home or an investment property, it's an even greater risk, right? Because you're sort of stretching yourself out more to carry not just one, but multiple properties. So by putting 20% down, you're actually skipping that. So something to consider when you decide, hey, I'm going to go in for an investment property. Maybe it's your second, maybe it's your 22nd.
I just had a thought in my head that I just wondered if you go, and this is in the case of purposely seeking out an investment property to purchase. So you'd have to speak to a lender that's your interest is going to be a bit more. And I was just thinking, I wonder how long you have to live in your private home before you can turn it into an investment where it's legal and it doesn't matter that the percent down. I'll have an answer for that by the end of the
okay, by the end of the episode. Look at us, search wizard over here.
just popped in my head.
So talked about the interest rates being a little different, right? Talked about putting that 20% down, avoid that PMI. Or private mortgage insurance. Let's get to the real good benefits. Someone's paying your mortgage.
Yes.
If it's priced right.
It's going to be paid off and someone else is going to do it for you.
Yeah.
That is nice.
We talk about building wealth and equity. Holy smokes, here's a way to do it, right? Someone's doing it for you. And then again, we do want to make a little bit of cash flow from the house above what you're paying for the mortgage, right? You don't want to just put it at your mortgage price. But it's a passive income because guess what? You don't have to do anything. Once a renter's in place and they pay their rent every month, the income is coming in.
Passive income is the dream. That's what all anybody wants, you know? Less work,
yes.
More reward. Of course everybody wants that. So I do feel that real estate, and this is a personal opinion, real estate is one of the best investments that somebody can make. The stocks are sometimes very volatile. You don't have a lot of control over what's happening there, and you don't have a lot of control over the housing market either, but historically upward trending return on investment is what real estate has always been.
Historically upward trending.
Well,
I love it. I love it. You a college graduate.
Got away with words. I went to college.
I went to college. So here's for the most part, your home is maintained. If you're a well-maintained home, you have a very cash flow positive income situation happening, right? So this is really good. Additional vocabulary. Additional benefits of the payday comes from selling this property.
True.
Think about it. Where are our home values today versus 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Versus a year ago versus 5 months ago? Vegas, it's been crazy and it has exploded much like the rest of the nation.
Everywhere, yeah.
Whoa.
I was in Iowa for a visit and I was looking at real estate just, for fun. I just like to do that. The joy of being a realtor, I get to look.
You're never off the clock.
It's the same. It's the same. Everything's gone up. Everything that I have seen has essentially increased about $100,000 in value, which is insane. And all these people who have had investment properties are cashing out, and it's phenomenal for them.
Right.
So
and
be
that
one
whole
of those
time,
people in the future when this happens again, because it will happen again. This is just life.
Yeah, it's real estate is very cyclical, right? So something to consider there. All right, so I think those pros have really outlined why investment properties are really the way to building your personal wealth.
Now, Kris, I didn't find the answer to my question, so what I would like to do is get somebody here next week, maybe, like a special guest who's maybe a lending officer that could help us out with some of those questions.
Our first special guest.
That would be pretty cool.
Okay, I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Special guest time.
Yeah.
Ooh, do we need to write a new song for that?
This is the special guest. No.
It's special guest.
He's the musician in the group. He can figure it out for us. But
I'll put a little graphic and a little sizzle.
Hopefully next week.
Okay, maybe not by next week. But please join us for a special guest who will cover those topics. And does have the expertise. We're the experts for real estate. They're the experts for lending, and we want them to comment on
It
what
is
they know best.
crucial to choose experts in your field in whatever it is that you're seeking help for, right?
Yeah.
Doctors, lawyers. Not that we're a doctor or a lawyer, but real estate is our
I was like,
business.
wait, we are?
No, real estate is our business, and like it's a passion. I care very deeply about the things that I learn and what I can share with my clients, and I know that you feel the same way.
Absolutely.
That's why we're such a good team.
Yeah. Right?
Thanks for joining us. See you next week.
Hey, Kris,
And Kris.
in the morning.